Hi everyone, I just wanted to come on here and thank every single one of you for your support, taking the time and effort out of your day to be there and cheer me on with the other girls. It means so much, especially at this time of the year. I couldn't thank you more, and I had such a fun time playing here in Auckland, and I hope I can be back next year.
Aryna Sabalenka just had the most unexpected reaction to Eala, breaking into the WTA top 50 for the first time in her career. The two-time Australian Open champion didn't hold back when asked about the Filipino star's meteoric rise after her ASB Classic semi-final run. What Sabalenka said has everyone talking, and it reveals something fascinating about how elite players view the next generation climbing the rankings. Do you think Eala can break into the top 20 by the end of 2026? Or is the top 50 her ceiling? Let me know your predictions in the comments.
Oh, what a point from Eala. Outstanding court coverage. The wheels in full motion there. My, oh my, that is impressive. Ridiculous tennis from Eala.
Eala just accomplished something that seemed impossible 12 months ago. She's now ranked number 49 in the world, officially in the WTA top 50 for the first time in her career. That's not a small achievement. That's a massive milestone that puts her among the elite players on the planet. Let's put this in perspective. This time last year, Eala was ranked 138 in the world and grinding through ITF events, the minor leagues of professional tennis. She was playing for modest prize money in front of small crowds, hoping for a chance to break through. Now she's ranked 49th globally, rubbing shoulders with Grand Slam champions and Olympic medalists. The breakthrough came at the ASB Classic in Auckland, New Zealand, a WTA 250 event that turned into Eala's coming out party. She didn't just participate, she dominated her way to the semi-finals, taking down quality opponents and proving she belongs at this level. Her quarterfinal match against Poland's Magda Linette was particularly impressive. Linette isn't some pushover. She's been ranked as high as 19 in the world and reached the semi-finals of the 2023 Australian Open. Eala beat her in straight sets, showing the kind of composure and shot-making that separates good players from great ones.
Oh, what a point from Eala. Outstanding court coverage. The wheels in full motion there. My, oh my, that is impressive. Ridiculous tennis from Eala.
Then she ran into Wang Xinyu of China in the semi-finals. Wang played incredible tennis that day and ended Eala's run. But getting to the semis was more than enough to push Eala into the top 50. Top seed Aryna Sabalenka eventually won the tournament, but everyone in Auckland was talking about the Filipino phenom who had announced her arrival.
Eala, the fourth seed, lays down a marker, lets the rest of the field know that she is a true contender here at the ASB Classic, through to the quarterfinals in dominant fashion. 6-love, 6-2. Eala marches on to the final 8.
Yeah, what a strong showing there.
That semi-final run lifted Eala one spot from her previous career high ranking of 50, which means she was knocking on the door and finally kicked it down. The rise has been steady, methodical, and built on actual results rather than one lucky tournament run. Now here's where things get interesting. Aryna Sabalenka The two-time defending Australian Open champion and one of the most dominant players in women's tennis, was asked about Eala's breakthrough during her pre-tournament press conference in Melbourne. Sabalenka's reaction? She went absolutely nuts with praise. "This girl is unbelievable," Sabalenka said with genuine enthusiasm. "I've been watching her since she was playing juniors at the Rafa Nadal Academy. Everyone knew she was special, but to see her actually do it on the WTA Tour this fast? That's rare. Most players take years to break into the top 50. She did it in basically one season of playing real tour-level events." Sabalenka didn't stop there. She continued, "The thing about Alex is she doesn't play scared. She goes for her shots, she competes like she believes she belongs, and that's the hardest thing to teach. You either have that mentality or you don't. She has it." Coming from Sabalenka, someone who knows exactly what it takes to dominate at the highest level, that's massive praise. Sabalenka isn't known for handing out compliments to every young player who has a good tournament. She's selective about who she recognizes, which makes her comments about Eala even more significant. But Sabalenka also added something interesting that got people talking. The top 50 is great, but it's also where things get really hard. Everyone in the top 50 is good. Everyone can play. The difference between 50 and 20 isn't just talent. It's consistency, mental toughness, and handling expectations. That's going to be her next test. That's not shade. That's reality. Sabalenka is pointing out what every player discovers when they break into the top 50. The competition gets exponentially harder, and maintaining that ranking requires a completely different level of commitment. Let's talk about what Eala's rise actually means for women's tennis. The Philippines isn't exactly a tennis powerhouse. Basketball dominates the sports culture there. Tennis doesn't have the infrastructure, the funding, or the national attention that it gets in countries like the United States, Spain, or Australia. For Eala to break through from that background makes her achievement even more impressive. She's doing something no Filipino player has ever done at this level in professional tennis. She's creating a path where none existed before. Her training at the Rafael Nadal Academy in Mallorca has been crucial. That facility isn't just a tennis club. It's an elite performance center where future champions are developed. Eala has been training there for years, absorbing world-class coaching and practicing against top competition. Nadal himself has reportedly given Eala tips during practice sessions. When one of the greatest players in tennis history takes time to share knowledge with you, that's going to accelerate your development dramatically. After her ASB Classic run, Eala headed straight to Melbourne for more preparation before the Australian Open. She's competing in the Invitational Kooyong Classic, an exhibition event designed to give players match practice and tune-up time before the Grand Slam begins. The Kooyong Classic invited only 4 WTA players this year, and Eala was one of them. That tells you how seriously the tennis establishment is taking her now. You don't get invited to exclusive exhibition events unless tournament organizers believe you're a draw card, someone fans want to see. The other 3 women invited? Donna Vekic from Croatia, a 2024 Wimbledon semi-finalist and Olympic silver medalist. Priscilla Hahn from Australia, giving the home crowd a local to cheer for. And Daniela Hantuchova from Slovakia, a 42-year-old former star and multiple Grand Slam mixed doubles champion who's there for nostalgia and experience. Here's the kicker. Eala already beat Vekic at the ASB Classic before facing her again at Kooyong. Vekic is a legitimate top-level player with 4 WTA titles and a career-high ranking of 17. Eala didn't just beat her once, she beat her twice in the span of a week, showing marked improvement between their first match, a 3-set battle, and their second, a straight sets victory. That rapid improvement is what has players like Sabalenka taking notice. It's one thing to beat a quality opponent once through grit and determination. It's another thing entirely to face them again days later and beat them more convincingly because you made adjustments and executed better. That's the mark of an elite competitor. Sabalenka's reaction also sparked conversations among other players. During practice sessions in Melbourne, several WTA stars were reportedly discussing Eala's rise and what it means for the tour. Some players see Eala as a threat, someone who's going to be taking spots in draws, stealing matches, and making life difficult for established players who are used to certain results. Other players see her as good for the sport, bringing new energy, a compelling story, and potentially millions of new fans from the Philippines. The Filipino community has rallied around Eala in a massive way. When she played in Auckland, hundreds of Filipino fans traveled to New Zealand to support her. When she plays in Melbourne, the Filipino presence will be even larger. That kind of passionate fan base is exactly what tennis needs. Engaged, loud supporters who create an electric atmosphere. Donna Vekic even commented on the Filipino support after facing Eala, saying, "There's so many of you guys," with genuine amazement at how many people had shown up to cheer for Eala. That fan base travels, spends money, and creates buzz. Tournament organizers love that. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Can Eala sustain this success? Or is she a flash in the pan who will fade back into obscurity? The evidence suggests she's the real deal. Her rise hasn't been built on one magical tournament. It's been steady improvement over multiple events. She reached the semifinals of the Miami Open last year, beating Iga Świątek along the way. She reached her first WTA final at Eastbourne. She's been consistently competing at a high level against top opponents. Her game also translates well to different surfaces and conditions. She's not a one-dimensional player who only succeeds on one type of court. Her serve is improving, her ground strokes are powerful and consistent, her movement is excellent. Her mental game seems mature beyond her 20 years. The comparison some people are making to Emma Raducanu's brief surge and subsequent struggles isn't really fair. Raducanu won the US Open as a qualifier and then immediately faced enormous pressure and expectations that she struggled to handle. Eala's rise has been more gradual, more sustainable, built on a foundation of consistent results rather than one miraculous tournament run. Sabalenka's comments about the top 50 being where things get really hard are worth examining more closely. She's absolutely right. Breaking into the top 50 is an achievement, but staying there and climbing higher requires a different level of excellence. In the top 50, every opponent is dangerous. Every match is a battle. The margins between winning and losing become razor thin. Physical conditioning becomes crucial because you're playing more matches at higher intensity. Mental toughness becomes the deciding factor because you're facing pressure in every single match. This is where Eala's training at the Nadal Academy could really pay off. That facility emphasizes not just technical skill, but also the mental and physical aspects of elite competition. They teach players how to handle pressure, how to recover between matches, how to maintain focus over long tournaments. The Australian Open will be Eala's first real test of whether she can perform at a Grand Slam with expectations on her shoulders. Last year, she lost in the first round of qualifying. This year, she's guaranteed a spot in the main draw. That's massive progress, but it also comes with pressure. Filipino fans will be expecting her to win matches. Media will be watching her closely. Opponents will have studied her game and developed strategies to exploit any weaknesses. Can she handle that? Based on what we've seen so far, probably yes. Her composure in big moments has been impressive. When she faced Świątek in Miami, she didn't play like someone who was just happy to be on the same court as a champion. She played to win, and she did. That fearlessness is rare and valuable. What's also interesting is how Eala has handled the spotlight. She's been humble, grateful, and focused on continuous improvement rather than getting caught up in hype. She credits her family for keeping her grounded, talks about how much she still has to learn, and emphasizes the work rather than the results. That attitude will serve her well as expectations grow. The worst thing young players can do is start believing their own hype and thinking they've already made it. The best players, like Sabalenka, understand that reaching the top 50 is just the beginning, not the destination. Looking ahead, Eala's ranking trajectory is set up beautifully for more gains. She's defending minimal points over the next few months because she was playing lower-level events this time last year. Every match she wins at bigger tournaments will boost her ranking significantly. If she can string together consistent results, not even winning tournaments necessarily, just reaching quarters and semis regularly, she could crack the top 30 by mid-year. If she catches fire and wins a WTA title or two, top 20 isn't unrealistic. Sabalenka's reaction to Eala's breakthrough also reveals something about the culture in women's tennis right now. The top players generally seem supportive of young talent rather than threatened by it. They recognize that new stars are good for the sport, bringing fresh storylines and expanding the audience. That doesn't mean they'll go easy on Eala if they face her on court. Sabalenka will absolutely destroy her if they play. But off the court, there's genuine respect and encouragement for what she's accomplishing. The Australian Open will be fascinating to watch. Eala's draw will determine a lot. If she gets a favorable first-round matchup, she could genuinely make a run to the third or fourth round. If she draws a top seed immediately, it'll be a learning experience, but valuable nonetheless. Regardless of the specific result in Melbourne, the trajectory is clear. Eala is here to stay. She's not a feel-good story that'll fade away. She's a legitimate contender who's going to be making noise on the WTA Tour for years to come. And when someone like Aryna Sabalenka, a multiple Grand Slam champion who's seen it all, goes nuts with praise for your game, that tells you everything you need to know about how seriously the tennis world is taking your arrival. So there you have it. Eala cracked the top 50, and Aryna Sabalenka confirmed what everyone's thinking. This is just the beginning. If you want to follow Eala's journey and get more coverage of tennis's rising stars, smash that like button and subscribe for all the latest updates. Who's your pick to go further at the Australian Open, Eala or Sabalenka?